Capela.
Clint Capela. I think we actually had a tie originally at 14-2 with Capela and Montrezl Harrell, correct?
We did, yeah, and our tiebreaker made it so that Capela ended up in the lower position, which is crazy considering that Capela has been a starter for a winning team until last year with Atlanta. Put up amazing numbers last couple of years, one of the better defensive players in the year, and he still ended up under Harrell. Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at Capela's stats, it's one of those things almost where the numbers, I guess, lie in this circumstance because, I mean, he put up 15 and 13 a game, I believe, last year. He was injured for a good portion of it, but, I mean, at the end of the day, again, those are great stats, and his stats weren't far off years previous as well. He's a very high double-double guy. He does it very often. He gets his blocks too, like you said, a good defender. It's just almost like he almost seems one-dimensional on the offensive end, and I think that's what brings him down a lot. I don't know what you kind of think about that there, but yeah, it does seem low, even though I guess we made the list to criticize ourselves. But yeah, it definitely does seem low for a guy who does average as much as he does. And like you said, has been so consistent over a number of years as well.
Oh, completely. Like he had 13.9 and 13.8 rebounds last year. So that's a pretty solid year, 1.8 blocks. The year before, he had a year of 16 and 13. So he's right up there. His stats show him as a top 10 center, and his defensive abilities show that he might be even higher.
Yeah, and it really comes down to, I guess, the more we go through the list and the more you talk about it, when, again, you look at those stats and you really do think that he should be. But, again, the guys ahead of him, it is going to be, I feel, easy to justify him, where I guess maybe the only difficult one is Harrell. But I think the big difference here is obviously going to be clearly the difference that they make to the team itself. I think obviously Harrell is going to have a bit more of an impact on the Los Angeles Lakers, and he also obviously has for the Clippers, and he has improved year after year. I mean, Harrell could easily be a 22-8 guy, which isn't really worse than 13 and 13. Like, it really just depends what you need in that circumstance. And when the Lakers obviously have a guy who's going to eat all the boards, like Anthony Davis, LeBron's going to get his own. That 22-8 is completely fine for the Lakers. And again, his game, I guess, all around just ends up being a bit better that way.
Fine. And that 22-8 would be fantastic for the Lakers. He's probably not even starting. So, but no, it's Clint Capela can prove us wrong. He played on Atlanta. He's going to start this year, obviously. Him and Collins down low, they're going to bang hard. I think they're actually going to compete very hard with the pickup. And it did. They could be a playoff team. If that's the case, then Capela's going to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
If he's a leader on that team, leading them to the playoff, one of the vets on that team at this point, even though he's still very young, it could be pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really, like, as long as he plays, I think, over 55, 60 games, and he does do that, I mean, there's no chance if there was an All-Star game that I wouldn't say Clint Capela could be an All-Star. He easily couldn't crack the top 10 next year.
Hell, 15 and 15 could be in his realm.
Definitely.